Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anish Raghavan. I am from the UNS PEM team, and I will be sharing some of the details with Aternity UEM. So, Emily, before we start, I just want to ask you: are you going to record this session for anybody missing today, so that they can go back and review it later? Hey, Emily, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, yes. I was talking to you, but I was on mute. Yes, I can go ahead and record. But before I record, I need to make sure that everyone is aware that we are recording this session. And if for some reason you do not wish to be recorded, you'll need to drop or just not participate in the session. So if everybody's okay with that, I'll go ahead and begin recording this session. All right, you're good to go.
Excellent. Share my screen. So today we will go over the Aternity UEM dashboard, specifically on the Wi-Fi details about a user. So if anyone not aware of what Aternity UEM is, on a very high level, it is the application we use to collect various kind of metrics from user workstations, right? We have agent running on all the laptop desktops across the enterprise, and it collect metrics on a user level, application level, and a device level, and present through this web UI from the Aternity UEM. Each of you can get access to it. At the end of the presentation, I will leave the details about how to get access if you don't have it. And it's a buyer's request, so you can request for it and you should be able to get the access. So we can find information specifically on a user or on a device name or on a specific application if you want to figure out what kind of end user experience, what kind of performance users are experiencing. These things are working good or bad, and what kind of issues we are having. That's on a very, very high level what Aternity UEM does. And if you have any questions, please feel to ask during the call, or also I will encourage, if you have any questions, you please post on the chat. And if we can't cover during today's discussion, we will follow back with you later. All right, without further ado, I'm just going to log into Aternity UEM. And the access to the application is managed through our PIF card, right? It asks for your PIN number and everything. So let me start over again, because I was logged in, so it didn't prompt me for logging in for the first time. So let me redo that one more time. I'm going to share it back, share the screen again. All right, so just want to demonstrate the login process in case anybody have any questions in the future. So when you try to log in, it prompts you to select the certificate from your PIF card, and you can enter the PIN number when it prompts, and you should be good to go from there. All right, and most of the users may get this, this tour prompt, and you can decide not to show it again, or you can use this as a way to look at what kind of information each this application provides, right? And you can look at the data. Anyway, let me show you a quick dashboard. Generally, all the users, when they log in, I changed my home page, but most of the users will land into this particular home page. This is the default home page for all the users, unless we override to something else, right? We can save it to some other dashboard you always want to start with. But if you are not set anything, by default, this is your home page. And what this tells is that, at this last 6 hours, how many number of users are connected online, how many number of devices and how many applications we can see, and average how much usage time. So it's quite a lot of information. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I believe most of you are very familiar with Aternity UEM, and with the telecom team on the call today, we want to focus on Wi-Fi related data, right? That's what we are going to do today. But if you guys want to have any other demos or discussions, please post in the chat and we will follow up with the help of Emily and others. We will arrange for the future demos or discussions. So here is the search bar for this tool, right? And if you are generally, when people have problems, right, we start with, okay, particular user reporting some issue or some device, we do have their user ID or their device name, etc. Or we could have any other information. So if you have any information and if you want to search, you can type in there. So I'm going to type in some name here, right? So I'm going to just type R, so for example. So it kind of brings up some information. It's like a type ahead capability, like Google. You start typing something, it start pulling up whatever the matches it find. Anything with the user icon there, it will show that these are the different usernames starting with R right now. And you can see some of the device names like RA or whatever. So you can select that way and look at the information. So if I want to look a device name by device name, so it says it's laptop, I'm going to select that. It quickly bring up the dashboard for that device. And the first dashboard, you see this dashboard is called troubleshoot device dashboard, right? So it's showing us the last 20 minutes time frame. So what Aternity have information collected for the last 120 minutes. As always, you can change the time frame up to last 7 days. On a high level, from a network connectivity standpoint, what information we have? Look at here, it says that this user on a Wi-Fi. Okay, and if a user is connected to a LAN, you will see a LAN icon and with the LAN explanation there, right? And this could be another useful information as far as their network connectivity. It tells that the business location. So if they are on a VPN, all the VPN locations has a indication with or start with the location name ERAP, right? That's basically tells that they are coming through the ERAP locations, connecting to a VPN, whatnot. So that is a good information to use as far as this particular device. So as soon as we search by the device, we got this dashboard, and we can see that this user on a Wi-Fi and it's connecting through Memphis ERAP location. Let me pause for a second and see anybody have any questions there. Alrighty.
Question. Oh, this is Dora. I have a quick question. Do we already have access to it, or do we need to ask for access to this?
Yeah, if you don't have access, what I'm going to do is that in the chat after this call, I will provide the details with which buyers entitlement you need to request for. There's a buyer's request for the Steel Central Aternity access. I will provide the entitlement name, and as soon as you get it, and I will also provide the URL, and that should get you in.
Okay, thank you.
So we can search by the user ID and password. Anyone else have anything? Any questions? All right. So one more additional information as far as the network connectivity is concerned. So this user is connected on a Wi-Fi, and when we scroll down here, there is a panel is showing the disk queue length. That is another metrics Aternity UEM already collected about this device, and it's showing. And as remember, it's looked for the last 120 minutes, right? So you can change the time frame, but we are looking last 2 hours time frame here. Up this particular panel, right? Under the CPU memory panel, you have a disk queue length thing, and here is another metrics related with Wi-Fi. It's called signal strength, which kind of tells that what kind of Wi-Fi connectivity they have, and it's look like pretty good, right? About 80% of signal strength for this particular connectivity. And to see some more information, you can hover over this bar anywhere you see, and it gives you a pop-up menu or pop-up panel with additional information, right? So it tells you the time of the measurement and what is the DSS ID is, which is the MAC address of the access point, right? And the Wi-Fi channel, etc., right? So that information is available right off this dashboard. Okay, let me pause any questions or any comments at this point of time.
Just to clarify real quick, so that Wi-Fi that you were just on, and it's showing the MAC address and the SSID name, will that be for the individual's home then as well? Like we can see the MAC address and stuff of their home router and Wi-Fi?
Exactly, this is from their home. Yeah, exactly.
Neat. That's pretty cool. Thank you.
So this is Emily. So that's a tool that you guys, I'm going to ask, I guess. That's a tool that we could use so that if a person calls in or puts a ticket in that says they're having trouble connecting to their home Wi-Fi or their network's not working or whatever, we could go in there with their barcode or their computer name, and we could go in and see how well their Wi-Fi is working. If the Wi-Fi is not working too well at home, I guess we could suggest that they plug directly into their devices or their router. Is that something we could use this for?
I will say exactly. You said that right. Yeah. So you are at a specific level. So just to recap, we searched by a device name, and we landed into this troubleshoot device, the dashboard, and we could see that they are currently connected with the Wi-Fi and through Memphis ERAP connection, and even we have their IP address and whatnot and their user ID as well, right? And we scroll down and we had the device queue length on this panel, but we changed that field or the attributes or metrics to signal strength Wi-Fi, and we saw that okay, they have a pretty good Wi-Fi connectivity, and when we hover over the point, we can see their SSID, the BSSID, and the MAC address, whatnot, right? All those information. Make sense? All right. So go ahead. Somebody has some comments there.
I was maybe this is getting ahead, but right now we're selected on Wi-Fi. If we were trying to troubleshoot a user that's in the office and they're connected to the LAN, what information will it show instead of showing Wi-Fi up there at the top of the dashboard? If that said LAN and we went down where we were looking at signal strength, will it show stuff like, say they're connecting to this IDF or this port, or will it get that far in depth on a LAN connection as well?
No, unfortunately
okay.
not. But we do have some other details, but yes, but there may be other tools we can supplement to see that kind of information. I will start some discussion in that direction at the later point of time, but we maybe want to maybe catch up with you and and look at exact things you want to see and see what kind of other solutions which we manage can provide you the details.
Great, thank you.
So please ping me or drop me an IM or just type it in the meeting chat, and so that I can follow back with you. All right, so let's continue. We started with, so let's see if I type in, what is it, TQJLB. So let's see TQJLB. So there is only one user that, so let's go ahead and pull. So if you search by the user, what happens, right? Instead of searching by the device name, you see their user experience dashboard. Again, the time frame is important, so always pay attention to the time frame. Yeah, and you can go back up to 7 days, and also you can change your time frame to the person you are looking. You are working from a different work zone from the user. You can change to your time zone versus the device time zone where that the device is connected from. It kind of tells you that what different kind of activity. It's like a diary of the activity the user done during this time frame. The Outlook, they've been working on Outlook, opened different emails, what kind of performance they had on each activity. And its screen says it's pretty good, based on the baseline we see for that activity. So joining the meeting, quite a lot of email activity. And you can see that there is some issues from a device health standpoint, the battery where it's happening, and there is some program crashed, etc. All right, and it, as you hover over each areas, it kind of provide you some additional details about that activity. Okay, and here, even it is good, it kind of tells you, okay, what kind of activity they did, what time, and what is the baseline, and what is where the time spent is on the network time or on the back end or whatnot kind of stuff, right? And here is the device name, right? So so this user has only one workstation, laptop, and they've been using this. And so because we searched by the device and searched by the user, it landed onto the user experience dashboard, right? So one of the things you can do is when you come to the device and you want to troubleshoot their device, you come to the device up here in this panel and hover over, and it gives you some drill down menus as well. So from here, what you can do is the troubleshoot device. So it's exactly the way when we search for a device name, we directly landed onto the troubleshoot device dashboard. But here, you started from a user level and it went to the user experience dashboard. But now I want to troubleshoot their device. You go ahead and click that troubleshoot device dashboard. So always look for the drill downs menus so that way, how you want, which menu, which kind of data we are looking for. Again, we landed onto the same dashboard we just looked at a few minutes back. Let's go ahead and look at here also. You can see that there are some additional sub-menus or the drill down menus up here too. So here is we are on the troubleshoot, but I want to look at some details about this device, about some other attributes. Like, let's see what that provides us. So again, drilling down to the device details dashboard. Again, it tells you the Wi-Fi and everything, but interestingly, it kind of tells what kind of applications they are running installed on the workstation, what kind of versions they have, and when was it changed. And you can always search for a particular application name. If you are checking is there an application, this application on this workstation, you can search for it, right? If I search for Outlook, it should be able to find for us actually. Yeah, there's Outlook there. Okay, but anyway, let's go ahead and what I wanted to call out is that on this device attributes panel, this is quite useful. Even it provides you so much of information there. It provides you the IP of the system, business location, again BSSID and SSID, wireless MAC, etc., etc. So let's scroll down here to look at few things here. So here is the active IP address. Then there is, let's go to the next screen. You will see the BSS ID is there. And again, it tells you that what kind of BIOS they have on the workstation. But from a network standpoint, BSS ID is there shown. Then again, let's scroll down few fields down. I'm trying to show some more information in relation with the networking. So here is something you may be interested from a LAN standpoint, what kind of Ethernet driver they have, right? That's is shown up here. And let's scroll down. There is a LAN card MAC address is there. So what kind of address of their LAN card, right? So even though they are connected to the Wi-Fi, we are still, this is something physically exists on the system, and we are providing that information there. So whoever asked that question before, what kind of information we can see regarding LAN. So these are the few attributes currently we have from these menus. And if you scroll down a few more screens, I wanted to show you. Yeah, here it says that on VPN, right? So on VPN means that they are on using either some of the VPN solutions like AnyConnect, and they are connected through the VPN. On-site is that active and connected to our Active Directory. That's what that on-site means. But VPN tells you they're actually coming through VPN connection or not the AnyConnect. And let's see here, the subnet information is there. You saw just now, right? Then again, the wireless MAC address is there. And one thing, I thought there was SSID somewhere. I may have, there is SSID. That's their network name, right? At home, right? Cool. So that's that from here. And I'm going to keep this because I want to come back to that later. Let me pause for a few minutes for any questions on the device details. Okay, let's go back to the user experience thing. I wanted to showcase some more information. So as you were here, right, you saw this device, right, and we wanted to look. So we drill down to the device details or troubleshoot device dashboard. So we've seen that dashboards already, right? Device details as well as troubleshoot. Now I wanted to share about the device health dashboard, right? It's pretty useful because this dashboard tells what kind of issues, events has happened on this particular device. So last for again time frame here. Again, it's filtered for that particular device name, right? So it is not for everybody, but just for the device during last 24 hours. And we are seeing by number of volumes and users. That makes sense because you are looking at by a device. So there are some application crashes and some hardware issues. And you can see some details about the application crash and what kind of events details are there. We'll come back to this, but this is something you can do. So there is nothing Wi-Fi related or anything or network related, but it's more like an application and a hardware issue. So this is a quite useful dashboards to see what kind of health events, any crashes or any kind of health hardware issues going on their workstation. And pause it for a few minutes. Yeah.
As far as device health, will it show you if you have like an out-of-date driver, for example, or anything like that, or is it mainly hardware crash type stuff?
Exactly, the second, the crash, health event basically, any kind of health event. Yeah, If some versions is also, I feel that when we were here in the device, right? So let me see what kind of fields we have for the versions, right? So it kind of tells you the BIOS version, agent version, etc. That's there, right?
Oh,
And
drivers, okay.
yeah, and there is we saw this installed software, right? This kind of tells you what kind of applications and their versions, current versions they have, right? So if you are looking for anything related with Cisco applications, you can see what version of the software they have run, right? And yeah, and one more thing I wanted to show is the troubleshoot one. Let's say troubleshoot. What we did talk about is, as we looked at the Wi-Fi connectivity here, we know that how to change the Wi-Fi connectivity. When we scroll down here, it kind of tells that what kind of health event going on their workstation in recent times, right? So you can see the battery wear been going on few days now, right? And some shutdown happened, some low memory issues, etc., etc. And this, if this panel also give us a visibility that if there was anything changed, if somebody pushed some patches or somebody made a driver change or anything in recent times, say that it was working till yesterday, nothing working today, what happened? This may be a good place to see that right away. Is anything changed on this laptop? Make sense?
Yes.
All right. So the troubleshoot dashboard is quite useful to see that information. I wanted to go back and to change, so we kind of filtered this for everybody.
Anish, is there a chance you could use a computer that is connected to the network now if someone is available to give you their computer name? Or do you have that example?
Yes, go ahead and give me the computer name. We can search.
Is there anyone out there connected to the network in the office right now?
I am.
Okay. You want to give them your computer name?
It is just I don't know it by heart.
Give me a CID. Give me a CID. That's a good way to go there.
Your SCID.
Oh, Queen number 3, David Bravo.
This one?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So this is the user experience dashboard, and this is the device name. So let's go to the device details, right? We can go back to anything, but let's see. So connected to LAN and connected from the Kansas location. It's IP, everything, right? So we can see all the information there. Let's device details. Let's go to troubleshoot device. So because she is connected through LAN, we wanted to mention that when we go here and look at the signal strength Wi-Fi, it should not show anything because the user is not on the Wi-Fi, right? And any health event recent times, so there was some unexpected shutdown happened on the system, and there was Firefox was upgraded other day. So we had 108 was uninstalled and 109 version was installed. Any additional information we need to look And let's go back to device detail again, or user experience. Just wanted to expand on the device health dashboard. So let's see device health dashboard.
Anish, this
Yes,
is Emily again. I know when Brandon had asked the question regarding like pinpointing down the, maybe the IDF of where this computer is connected to, and you said you would get with him afterwards. That is really something I think would be, a benefit to the telecom techs, because sometimes it's hard to, do that, right on the fly. But I know you said you'd work with Brandon on that, and that would be a great thing if you could work with him on that. And I'm not sure if anybody else is thinking out there what other tools might be great, but I'm wondering if other folks, came up with some ideas. Is that something possible that could be built into the Eternity program?
yes. So let me quickly say that Aternity UEM is one solution from one out of many solutions we have from the Riverbed suite, right? Under the Riverbed portfolio, we do have many solutions to look at the traffic from the network side, workstation side, and from the application side. So we do have visibility to end users and back-end servers, as well as what's going on the network. So UEM today just bringing most of the information from the laptop, the end user side, what exactly happening on the user end, along with some complementing details on the network performance and the application performance. But if you want to drill deep into the network side, there is a product called the solutions called Net Profiler, NetIM, App Response, etc. And also, if there are specific application, if we are running some Java application or .NET application in house, and that we want to look at what is there any application issue, there is APM tool as well. So with the brand, and we can talk with him and work with him and look at few things. And once we have some good information to share, we could schedule another discussion like this, so that rest of the team members can see and the benefit out of it. Will that work?
Yes, that sounds great. Yeah. Are there any other ideas that you guys are thinking about out there, Chris?
Hey, Em, this is Kim from Laguna. I'm just wondering, what other types of devices can we look up with this besides, laptops or desktops? I mean, as far as telecom is concerned, what would be beneficial for us to use this for, like today, if we needed to, a device other than a laptop?
Yeah, like routers or switches. Can we look those devices up?
Or AD.
Yeah, so the routers and switches, that's where the other two solutions I talked about, the Net Profiler, NetIM, everything come in play. We do have NetIM solution monitoring all the routers and switches, and we are collecting quite a lot of metrics from there. And I feel that that's where we should be going next, in the next discussion we will have, to see what NetIM provided and see what kind of valuable information to your team specifically. The UEM standpoint, go ahead, sorry, continue.
Go ahead.
No, Aternity UEM standpoint, remember that this is an end user experience monitoring solution. So we do have agents installed on the end user devices, which can be a laptop, desktop, even it can be a server, or it can be a Mac. We don't have any installation today on the Mac, but if they have using a MacBook, we can put agents there as well. And we can provide visibility. When users say, hey, I was doing this and it was running slow, it can be, they never give you a time, right? It used to take 1 minute, maybe now it's taking 10 minutes, actually what was happening. So this solution provides that visibility. We don't need to call up the user to say, oh, share your desktop, let me look at some stuff, without even interrupting their work. we can pull up their information. We just need their SCID or workstation name. Pull up the information, see everything, what happened to the system, what exactly and what kind of health issues they are having, what kind of connectivity they have. We have everything on our fingertip, right in this solution.
And I think, go ahead, Brandon.
Sorry, I don't want to monopolize time, but I have just a question. Will this store the data? Do they need to be actively connected? If they're not connected, can I go in and look and see what happened for the past week, even if they're not online, or do they have to be online?
Good question. So we can't let. So if the first thing is that the database, the laptop needs to be up and running, right? Then only the agent will be running it and it will be collecting the data, right? Collecting the data. Okay. Then once they connect to our network, it should talk to our servers to send the data, right? So every few minutes or few seconds, let's take every 1 minute or 2 minutes, it sends metrics back to the server. Okay, this is what I have for you. Keep it, and send it. Right? It is coming. As soon as it connected on the network, it is coming to the server side. If they are not connected, if they are not on the network, the laptop is up. The agent start collecting, but there is limited amount of data it can hold on to it, because we don't want to fill up the disk space and everything. I have to maybe get some help from my team members, but I think it is last 2 hours or last 60 minutes or 90 minutes of data, it will hold on to it. Then it will start fleshing out the older data. Make sense? So, yeah, if the system is offline for a long time, we don't know, or if it is not connected to the system. So, say I boot up the laptop, and after 30 minutes I connected to the VPN and I'm on the network, then it will send that 30 minutes of the data. But when I was online, my computer was up for last 3 or 4 hours, but I was not on the network. My system is not going to send the whole time frame data. It will be the last few minutes, the time frame I was mentioning. All right.
No. Hey, Emily.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Beverly. I just wanted you to perhaps maybe canvass the telecom managers to see what they can use or how they can use this tool to enhance the user's experience. I know we've had several of these demos and training sessions, but is there something that we can do to enhance the user's experience? I would like for us to kind of, think along those lines and maybe come up with some things that will, be beneficial.
Yeah, and the audience right now that we have is not only, this is the Tech Corner call, so these are all the technicians that are on the call. And having, I'm going to say it, they're the best ones to be able to look at this system and say, hey, this will work, and answer that question. What I'm seeing, and I'm not a tech, and I will never say that I am a tech, but what I'm seeing for this one is the best information that we can use, and correct me techs out there if I'm right or wrong, but what I'm seeing is that they can use this, if people are having trouble with their Wi-Fi or their connection in any way, we can use this system for that. Other than that, we can also look to see if it's a computer issue, and in turn, then that would allow us to turn it over to desk side. If we go in here and we see that it's crashed several times and this and that, then it's most likely a computer issue, which will then turn it over to desk side. But as far as what Brandon's asked many questions that are very good, and so did Kim asked the same thing. But what we're really all about is the network, which is the routers and the switches, which is the net. So if there are things just like this, the health of the devices, which are the switches and the routers, if we could get something to tell us what the health and maintenance of those are, that would be awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
But somebody else tell me what you think and how you see that this could be beneficial or not. Because you guys are the techs. You're the ones out there. What do you see?
This is Mike. Kim is absolutely correct. If we could also, like she said, find out about APs, the health of APs, that too would be great.
Okay.
I do think that this is a good tool, though, because anytime a customer is unable to get online, they instantly it's the network. And I know here in Ogden, the network is fairly reliable. Oftentimes we'll get a ticket that it is not our network. We'll go fluke the connection or whatever it may be, and it's not the network. So sometimes looking in this, to look at those events to see what might not be healthy, what might be crashing, so we can definitively say, you know, it's not our network, it's your laptop, it's this driver, it's this whatever. That way, like you mentioned before, we can shuttle it over to desk side if that's what we determine, and I think this tool can help determine that.
And then we also did join the desk side tech corner as well. So we're going to be having frequent meetings or demos like this just to ensure that, you know, everybody becomes proficient in using the tool and use it as a go-to tool. Because I don't think everybody's actually using it day to day, and that's the end goal. And to take advantage of the dashboards that we can develop from this tool as well.
Excellent. Good discussions there.
Yeah. I definitely, I think, you know, if you guys and Brandon is your manager, Brian?
Yeah, Wingard.
Yeah, I'm sure he would allow you to work on something. But I mean, if there's others that would like to work with Brian and maybe get with Anish and that group, you know, there could be other things here. You know, this is a rather quick demonstration, but you know, the tools are always a great thing. But like, and I think others are giving some thumbs up to what Brian's saying too on the chat. So, you know, like I said, the things are good. There's things on here that are good, that are probably more better for desk side. Whereas the other application, I think you talked about, Anish, more for the net
profiler and net IM.
I think that's more for us as telecom. So if we could work on something like that, that would be awesome. And of course, we'd be more than willing to help out and get on that and work with you guys for it.
All right, good. So let me show some good stuff. One more good stuff to the team, right? Before we
more stuff. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
Continue. Sorry. Finish your thoughts.
No, I just said sorry. You know, I didn't want to jump in there and cancel the presentation. No, we want to see more, so go for it.
So, you know, we talked about how we look at things from a user level, device level, etc. Right? But you know, we want to look at, you know, more on a higher level overall, you know, across the enterprise, how things are, right? So there is a good dashboard to look at. It's under the analyze. So from the hamburger menu, you know, it will get you analyze and the Wi-Fi here. You can get to that way, or you can just start typing Wi-Fi. You know, you will see that analyze Wi-Fi dashboard is there, and we can see there are a few more additional dashboard. These are the dashboard various users created and shared with us, right? Like maybe I created and shared with everybody, or somebody else created and shared with everybody. So we can see various kind of dashboards. Some dashboard may be good, some dashboard may not be good. Okay, so but let's start with the analyze that dashboard, which I wanted to analyze Wi-Fi dashboard, which is critical from a Wi-Fi standpoint. and it gives you more collective data. So before we drill down in everything, so I wanted to pay attention to what we have on the right hand side here, time frame. Always, anything you look at it, always make sure that you select the right time frame you are looking. And let's talk about these three sections here: the measurements, breakdown, and filters and values, right? So the measurement is how you wanted to some crosstalk there, that's okay. What columns to examine by, right? You can, what kind of measurements, right?
Could everybody go? If you're not talking, go on mute, please. Thank you.
So right here, the measurement, right? What are the values we would like to see up here? So we can see signal strength, average, minimum, transmission speed, etc. But if you want to look at other fields, you can see. And I wanted to call out here that the SNR values are exposed only from the Mac agents, not from the Windows, because that's the limitation on the Windows side. But once the Windows provide, Aternity should be able to measure it. So you may not see these values for Windows because it's only exposed with the Mac at this point. But anyway, these are the fields you can add up here to see. So as of now, I have 4 fields selected by default. And you can sort by whatever field you wanted to see. You can look at by the signal strengths or whatever that may be, you can select. So that is the measurement value. So what we wanted to examine this data, what are the columns we want to examine, what are the fields you want to examine, and how you want to present, what kind of sort level or which order you wanted to sort it by. That's the measurement value. So we have to make sure that you fix that one before you go anywhere. And breakdowns are basically to see how you want to correlate. So that are the 2 columns you will see on your report on the leftmost side, right? These 2 columns, how you want to look at. You want to look at by a business location or an office, and by a access point, for example. So for example, there are office names, like, so let's say I wanted to select by the office name, which comes from our Active Directory. So let's say offices, right? So it will show you the office names. And if you have one office has different access points, you can change that to say I want to, instead of looking Wi-Fi SSID, yeah, that's there already selected. So these are the different offices and access points or their network name, right? The SSID. Or if you want to look for BSSID, that also the BSSID is there. So it will provide you that MAC address there. So these are basically telling you the first and the second columns on the leftmost columns of the report, how you wanted to group by. Let's quickly go into the filters. The filters basically to limit. I don't want to see everything. I just want to a specific office or specific business location or specific device types, etc., etc. So you have, when you look at it, there are 3 filters you can generate. So what is a top level filter? So these are the filters for you. There are so many things you can filter by. So I'm going to click at by office. I just wanted to look at only one office. I don't want to see every offices or few offices. So I'm going to change that here on the filter. And now it is all selected, but I wanted to select by only few. You can uncheck the all section here and select, handpick some of them. Or you can just come here under the cancel and apply screen, and you can start typing the office name, right? Say I'm going to type again ACIO or something like that. So here are some ACIO groups up there, right? Or if you have some other offices like say criminal or chief's counsel, let's try. So there are few office names are there. So I wanted to look these 2, for example. Let's see, and I select and apply. So we are filtering the data specific to that group, right? Now that's by the their that offices and their access group and how kind of signal strength you are having. If you wanted to change it to a different breakdown, you can switch on to this one. Okay, that's how you measure these fields. Now I wanted to see, not by the business ID, I want to look at by their username. So let's see user full names here or not. So there is user names and there is user full name also. So if you want to look at by their names, let's see how that turn out to be. So only two users there. Okay. Maybe I have to look few more offices. So let's add few more offices just for the testing to get some more additional data. So now you have many more users from there, right? And you can see their signal strength, etc. Then one more thing I wanted to call out, that when we hover over these bars, it will provide you some more details about it, right? You can see their office names and username, signal strength, what is the average, maximum, minimum, transmission speed, etc., etc. And how many hours on the Wi-Fi, right? Let's filter by a user, and I wanted to show there are some users may have multiple workstations. So let's say quick example I wanted to show before we conclude. I know we are getting to the end of the time here. Username, and I wanted to say, let's see, I can type. I know this user has 2 laptops, so let's see what we can bring. Okay, it's there. I know I wanted to show instead of office names, so because the office name, I wanted to show the device names. So the leftmost column should change. I wanted to know the device names. So there's a number of ways to, dissect the data. So whichever you want to see the data, come to here and try to manipulate. And if you make some changes, if you see some view you like it, when you have all the filters selected, etc., you can use this save button, and you can give a name to it. Give some meaningful name so that you can easily remember, and you can keep it private for yourself or make it public so that others can benefit out of it. So if somebody from a team developed something and you think that everybody in the group may help benefit from it, go ahead and make it public. I think that may be a good point here, Emily, to pause, and we can have future sessions. But thanks for letting us to talk with the team today.
It was our pleasure. What questions do we have out there? Hey, Kim, is this this one relates to APs and that? This one looks like it is very beneficial because it'll tell you the signal strength and everything of an AP that's out there. What do you think? Or anybody? Did I lose everybody?
No, we're still here.
I noticed when you did the first drop down though, you can, we could, where was the one? I mean, we could hone in on councils, Wi-Fi's. Can we go floor by floor on certain buildings?
We don't have that much level of grouping. If you want to, we can. We can group the business location, and with their, if you have a subnet range or something, we can create grouping based on that. Actually, you can create a location name, but we are going by the location subnet at this point, not at the floor level. But if you have, if you have a specific,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
If you have a specific access point name, network name for a building, and if you have, if you want to see by the BSS ID, then basically the MAC address for each access points there, we could do that actually. So that could be the best way at this point. So if you have different if you have a specific SSID for a particular location, you can filter by those things. So that's what I was looking up here. Wi-Fi SSID and provide their names. I don't know. I don't have any example, but unless you have something names, we can look for it. So like, okay, for example, if you have 3B network, I don't know whether it's a user network lab, it's access point or it's our internal IRS building access point, but you can do that way.
Yeah, we have specific, they have specific numbers on all the access points all across the nation.
Yeah, that's so where we
would have to feed those to you, or could we just put them in and they would pop up?
Yeah, you can. That's exactly, you can put it in. So give me one name and we can quickly look at it. SSID for one of the locations.
Does anyone have one handy they could give off of the sheet? Fred or somebody? Anyone? Anyone have a couple? Let me see it. I can pull it. Anybody out there? Copy AP.
What was the question? I'm sorry, I was talking to my lead.
Oh, I was just wondering if anybody had one of the names for the access points at your the SSID for it. Are you the only one on the call today, Brandon?
No, I'm just taking up a lot of it.
I'm trying to find, when we had to turn them in to,
Are you talking about the MMXI
yes,
things?
and that too.
Yeah, I got one. Someone threw one in the chat.
He's tagged in already.
Alright, yep, that's one I got, 732.
Let's go ahead and take a look. Alrighty, so these are the uses there, and what I wanted to see instead of device name and username, so device name is good, and I wanted to see the BSSID.
Oh, okay, so it shows everybody that's using that one also?
Yeah, so it is showing everybody on this SSID, which is a network name, and this BSSID is giving their MAC address there.
So just to maybe interject in this, so I think that's kind of a generic name, because if you notice out there in Kansas, Fresno, stuff like that, could you drill it down to say Ogden users only, Ogden machine names only?
Yeah, so that's where we will go and another filter. We can look at office names, office. And let's see, let's start with Ogden.
Yep.
Can see
Click all those?
all of those. Okay. We're going to pick two of them. Let's see. It's quite a few there. I'm going to finish up here, okay? I'm going to finish up there. Let's see, just for the demo, right? So that's why I'm thinking that if you select everything, whatever you have, then you save it, then next time you don't need to do it, right? So there it is for all the Ogden systems. Yeah, there it is.
Oh.
So if you want to switch by the SSID and the username, you can do that also, so you can say,
Nice.
yeah, you can switch it, put the BSSID in the beginning and put the device name next.
Huh?
If you want to change the order, you can group by the BSSID at the first column, then the device name, then you can sort it by the first breakdown or the second breakdown, so it will show you. So I'm going to do a second breakdown so that you can see everybody together. So let's see. So it should group. So you can see that on this one there is 2 users, right? Then there is 4 people on this one, and so you can see pretty quickly. And the D2 is popular. Seems like more people on that one. Look like. Make sense?
Anish, I had put a AP name on the chat. Is it possible just to query that one? Thank you.
So again, let me go back to here. Select everything and uncheck so that all my selections goes away, right? Because I had something already selected, I'm going to uncheck, select all and uncheck again. Now I go ahead and paste that thing, and I don't see anything. So we are looking at the last 4 hours. Right? The week look like nobody connected, but let me go ahead and apply it for now. And may not see anybody. Let's see if I change to last 48 hours. Anybody? Nope. Last 7 days. For some reason we don't see anybody. Let's see 14 days. Nope. Oh yeah. Oh sorry. My bad. Sorry. I was wondering why it is the SSID, right? So let's see here. Like there is nothing found for that one for last 14 days. It's not hitting. You may want to look closer onto it. Why it's not showing? If you know it is active and people should be connecting, and their systems are connecting to the network also.
Thank you.
That's a good one. So I'm going to keep it and see. So
it wouldn't be because you have a second breakdown or anything like that, would it?
Okay, let's see. We can hit something like that. Okay, that's all. Check. That is, yep. No, we are not seeing anything starting with GLE. Any other names? Maybe no. Mix was there, right? Was there, so yeah, that's an old one definitely. There are quite a few one.
Is it Morel? Is that a working one?
Yes, it's in our Glendale, California office. It's a high telework building, so I guess it is possible nobody's connecting to it, but it is active right now. It's on the network.
So can I just ask, okay, so this is the Wi-Fi devices in the office, right, that you're looking at?
Correct.
Okay, so if you're in the office, shouldn't you be connecting to your data port at your desk or the telework desk?
It's user's choice, right? There could be people may supposed to connect through the LAN, but if they are not, you will see them online through Wi-Fi here.
Okay.
It basically tells the fact what exactly happened. They say, oh, I was on Wi-Fi and I was having the problem, or I was on the LAN but I have the problem. But we can see that they were not on the LAN, they were on the Wi-Fi here, etc., or vice versa. So it gives the fact for us to there is no assumptions. We can take the assumptions away when we troubleshooting. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Right. Any other questions? I think this one is very useful too.
Yes, I think so too.
Anyone else? Well, Anish, thank you very much. The presentation was very good. And you'll put in our chat what the bear's request is, because I have a feeling a lot of folks do not have that application in their bear's large area, with all their other requests. So if you don't mind putting that in there, we'll get our telecom techs in there, working and playing around in it when they have time. There you go. Broad users, Steel Central, Aternity, and then Riverbed Steel Central. So, any other questions before we let Anish and his counterparts go? All right, we really do appreciate it, and thank you very much. And if you would like to work with Brandon, and I can get probably some other folks to work